Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the Addams family home. This is the amount of space required to make your build, and here are all of the materials that we will need throughout the build. Begin by placing a row of 6 cyan terracotta in a row on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. Then extend to the right by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then extend forwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend up by 1, and then place 3 stone brick wall on top of this block. 1, 2, 3. Now continue by coming back down to the bottom and placing a cyan terracotta extending forwards. Then extend to the right by 3 using stone brick stairs. 1, 2, 3. Place a cyan terracotta on the end, and then extend backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We now want to extend across to the right by 2. 1, 2. Forwards by 1. Right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend backwards 1. Right by 2. 1, 2. Then extend backwards by a further 2. 1, 2. And then right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then extend backwards by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Extend across by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. And then right by 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Then extend inwards 1 block. And then right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then extend towards the front of the build by a further 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend 1 block towards you, and then to the right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then extend 1 block inwards, and then join to the front of the build. Now this is what our rather complicated floor plan will look like. Next up, we are going to start building up some of the outlines for the walls. Let's begin all the way back with the very first cyan terracotta that we placed. Add a row of 10 stone on top of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're then going to extend to the right and down to the corner block that we have on the still left side of the build. Extend these 2 rows backwards using stone. The stone wants to be as high as the stone that we have on the front of the build. We can then extend the top of this row across, and the goal is to join it down to this corner block right here. Perfect. What we can now do is, starting from the bottom here, add a couple of cyan terracottas leading back towards this row of stone, and then we are going to build up stone directly in front of the long row that we have just made, like this. We will also place a row of stone on top of the stone brick wall, leading all the way up on top, like so. We want the exact same thing on this opposite side here as well, so if we add 3 cyan terracotta, a stone behind, then 3 stone brick wall in the same position as we have opposite, and then stone leading all the way up, and then we can build up rows of stone behind this, And this is going to be the entrance area. So if we lead it all the way up here, and we are just going to connect it together at the top as well. And once that has been done, we want to add a couple of rows of stone on top of these two cyan terracottas right here. So this is just going to be a little wall that will join to a different part of the house. As a matter of fact, it might even be beneficial to lead the top of this across and join it down to this corner block right here. So if we lead it across and join it down to this corner specifically, this area in front I want to build up a little bit. So on top of this horizontal row of cyan terracotta, place a row of stone. Then on top of this left side here, place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 stone extending up, and then extend across, and then down, like so. And then that leaves us in a nice position for what will be coming later. Continuing on, we are going to take the top corner of this part of the house and extend it backwards, all the way back until it joins down to the opposite corner on the back part of the build. It should join rather naturally, like this. So from here, we can take the two corners of this out part of the house and place a row of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stone on top of each corner, extend them and join them together, and then extend them and join them to where they would naturally connect to the house. And it doesn't really matter what manner you do this, as long as it's easy for you to recognize like what is actually going on here. Moving on to the back of the build, this is where things get really simple. We want to take the top block of this stone here in this corner and extend it all the way across. This goes quite a distance until we join it down to this outward corner of cyan terracotta here, like this, and then we can extend a row of stone backwards, and then extend from the top across again, join down to this corner block, and then we can start extending forwards, and join down to this corner right here, and extend one row forwards, and then take the top block here, extend it forwards, and join it down to this corner. Then we just add a row behind, just like this, and then we extend the corners forwards, just like so. And that is absolutely perfect. We have a good amount of the structure made now. With the main bulk of the structure complete, we only have a little bit more to add to it. We want to come to the entrance area once again. I'm sure that you guys remember where this is. Well, on these two outward corners of the entrance, we want to place rows of 5 stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm just going to extend this across and then join it down. Then on top of the corners once more, I'm going to add 4 more rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then extend across and join down like this. Then I want to take the top 2 corners of the shape that we have created and extend them backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Join them together, and I am going to extend them down. To make this simple, I'm just going to extend them down a few rows into the actual wall, or rather just behind the wall, like this. So that's really good. I'm sorry if you think that this is a waste of resources, but I think that this makes it far easier to add details into. We are going to fill every single wall in using stone until the entire build is a blank canvas. With all of the walls filled in, that makes it so much easier to mark out the windows and other details that we need to place. Let's begin where this all started, on the front left side of the build. Following the stone, from the bottom left hand corner here we want to move into the right 1, 2, and then up 1, destroy 3 rows up, 1, 2, 3, and then the 3 blocks to the right. We then want to leave a gap of 2 extending upwards, so 1, 2, and then destroy 1, 2, 3 blocks extending up, and 1, 2, 3 just to the right, like this. The windows are very simple. We simply want to place back to back, upside down stone stairs in the top 2 rows, like this. The positioning of these windows is very consistent throughout the build, so if we follow this bottom window along here, and we move on to this long wall, we want to leave a gap of 2, so 1, 2, and then destroy 2 blocks going right. Leave a gap of 2, destroy 2 blocks going right. And then destroy 2 rows above each of these gaps. Leave a gap of 2 extending up, and then 3 more rows, 1, 2, 3, and then we want to destroy the rows to the left and right. If we place the exact same configuration of upside down stone stairs in the top 2 corners of the window hole, then we will end up with the exact same thing just matched onto this side of the build. And by the way, we also have to add a couple of more windows. So the first of which is actually, if we come over to the left again, it is directly above this window. So left and right of this, we want to build up a row of 1, 2, 3 stone, and 1, 2, 3 stone, so leaving the 2 center blocks alone, and then upside down stone stairs connected together at the top with stone on top of these stairs like this. That's perfect. We want to do the same thing just over here to the right. It wants to be in between these 2 windows, and we want to have 1, 2, 3 stone, 1, 2, 3 stone, and then upside down stairs connecting together with stone on top of the upside down stairs, just like this. And then moving along, continuing with windows, we want to place a large window above the entrance. So if we leave this row of stone alone and we tackle these 3 middle blocks, we want to destroy all 3 of these, and then 2 rows above like this, and then add another row, so it wants to be a row of 3 by 4, and then place upside down stone stairs inside of the top 2 blocks, just like this. Then if we leave a gap of 1 going up and we destroy row 3 across, and then 3 more extending up like this, upside down stone stairs in the top 2 corners like that, that is absolutely perfect. And now if we move even further up now, we want to have a window right in the middle here, so we'll have 2 stone on the left and 2 stone extending up on the right like this. And I'm not sure if we'll actually have a stone above them connecting together, but then it kind of does illustrate how this will look, and that is how things are going to go. So moving on around the build, we have 2 windows on this sticky out part of the build here, and if we just start on this stone here, right at the bottom left hand corner, move upwards and inwards diagonally, destroy 2 blocks going to the right, 2 rows above, gap of 1, 2 blocks, 2 rows above, and then we want to have upside down stone stairs joined together at the top like this. So we also want 2 windows above this, so if we leave a gap of 2 between the top of the window, so this first block and then this second, that would be 2, so 1 stone, 2 stone, and then 1, 2, 3 extending up just like this, and then if we leave a gap of 1 and then we have the exact same thing just shifted slightly over to the left, that is absolutely perfect. You can see how those 2 windows line up with each other, and we just have to place the upside down stone stairs together just at the top. So just like with the other side, we have an extra little window to make. So this window is made by placing a row of stone that sits on top of the window area, connecting the left and right side together like this. And then we're going to add another row of stone on top of this. And then we are going to dig out these 2 middle blocks like so. And then I believe that there might be a stone above and covering the gap. So just like this, above diagonally like so. Then moving around a little bit, we're going to start on this outward section of the house. We'll start once again from this stone block here in the corner, move upwards diagonally, destroy this block, 2 to the right, and then we're going to destroy 3 rows up. So 1, 2, 3 like this. So we'll have a large rectangular shape. Leave a gap of 1 going right, and then do the exact same thing like this. Then we're going to have upside down stone stairs just together in the corners like this. And then we are going to move around to this right side, and in the same position, so from the corner extend upwards, inwards diagonally, we want a row of 3, then destroy 3 rows above, gap of 1, the exact same thing, gap of 1, the exact same thing, just like this. Perfect. Then if we place the upside down stairs in the corners, that will give us this, which is perfect. Which moves us around to the back. We actually want the exact same configuration on the back, so moving upwards diagonally, destroy a row of 3, and then a row of 3 above. Just leave a gap of 1, and then place the stairs in the 2 corners at the top, like so. On this huge wall on the back of the house, we have a lot of windows to make. So if we start from the bottom left corner of the stone here, we want to move across to the right 1, 2, and then up 1. Destroy this block, and then 1 to the right. Leave a gap of 2, destroy 2. Gap of 2, destroy 2. Gap of 2, destroy 2. Leave a gap, destroy 2. Leave a gap, and eventually you will be left with perfectly placed windows. We then want to destroy 2 rows above each one of these window holes, and we will inevitably add upside down stairs to the tops of the windows, just like this, all the way across. There's so many windows that I actually I didn't realize that there was another one. I figured that that must have been enough, and the same thing almost happened again. There we go. Perfect. So a bunch of windows. We have all of the upside down stairs added. We then want to leave a gap of 2 above these windows. So 1, 2, and then we want to have 1, 2, 3 again. So we want to have the same set of windows set on the second floor, just leaving a gap of 2 directly above the original set of windows. And of course, they are made in the exact same way, and I won't make a mistake with the stairs this time. There we go. That's perfect. I always counted 1 less window than there actually was. So that is absolutely perfect, ladies and gentlemen, which leads us on to the last side of the build over here. So we only have to stick windows on this center part, and we're going to start from this stone right here on the sticky out part, the bottom left hand corner, move upwards inwards diagonally by 1, destroy the block, destroy 1 block to the right, gap of 2, destroy 2, and then we want to destroy 2 rows above like this, so exactly the same as we've been doing. Leave a gap of 2 above this, and then we want to once again destroy a row of 2 by 3. Then upside down stone stairs join together at the top of the windows just like this, and that will give us our final set of windows that is absolutely perfect. So it's cool having all of these windows, but now we've got to fill all of these in with glass block. This is very simple. We simply add glass block directly behind all of the window holes. With all of the windows filled in, we can work on some of the smaller details of the build before we have the gargantuan task of the roof. First, let's focus on the main entrance. We're going to add another row of stairs leading us up onto this porch. Then we're going to add a little bit of floor using a stone block like this. Let's stick a dark oak door in the middle of this area here with black concrete surrounding it, just like so. We are also going to extend this stone backwards above the door, as we want to hang a lantern directly above the center. Then, to finish this off, an upside down stone stairs in the top 2 corners just like this. You can even extend these stairs 1 row out further. I think it will look a little bit better. There we go. That's perfect. So for this next part, we are going to take this sticky out area here on the right and place a row of polished blackstone stairs above the top of this. Destroy the block behind the left and right side and stick an additional sideways stair like this. Place polished blackstone on top of the stone, and then we need to grab grey candles, and we are going to place a grey candle on top of every single one of the polished stones. Moving slightly around, we are going to place a row of polished blackstone stairs around the top of this part of the house. I want to say that this is an orangery, but I might be wrong about that. Maybe you guys can let me know down there in the comment section. But we want to place 2 sets of stairs, and then we will fill the top of this in with polished blackstone. And then, after we have done that, we are going to add a little something else to it. I don't know why I'm not saying it. I guess I'm teasing it, as if you guys aren't about to find out in 1 second. But once the entire top of this has been filled in, we are going to grab iron bars and place iron bars around the top of the stairs. So this is the top row of stairs, of course. We're not placing it inwards on top of the polished blackstone, but on top of the actual stairs, and it creates a nice effect, just like this. So, moving back to the entrance, I feel as though that we're literally building from the ground up. We want to begin by adding a row of polished blackstone stairs around the top of the tower above the entrance area. So this is kind of just going to add a little bit of flavour to the top just below the window. Now, left and right of the window, we want to place 1, 2, 3 rows of polished blackstone like this, extending from the front towards the back, just like so. We can then connect them together at the back as well, and at the front too. And we want to add a row of polished blackstone stairs on top of the front and the back of the 2 rows of blackstone that we've placed, and then join them together front to back like this. And then we want to take these 3 central rows and we want to add 2 additional rows on top of them. So 1, 2, and we're just going to extend every single one of these upwards. We can then place iron bars all the way around the top of this like so, and then grey candles on the 4 corners of the iron bars, but we can also place one on the centre, on the front and the back, which will give us this shape. It kind of looks like a hat, but we are going to finish this by placing polished blackstone slabs in front of the left and right sides of the top of this window frame, extend the slabs in, up, like this. That is absolutely perfect. With this complete, we are now going to move on to the main roof. Let's once again begin where it started. I want you to make your way up to the top left-hand corner of the front of the build, which is kind of like here if you don't include this window. Well, we want to place a row of polished blackstone that sits in front of this horizontal plane of the build. And the blackstone sort of wraps around the front of the build a little bit with a couple of blackstone slabs like this, so we want to place this on the opposite side as well. There is a break right in the middle where the windows are, and then the slabs continue, 1, 2, and then we want to continue the polished blackstone blocks, extending all the way around, just like this, all the way around the entire build. It will join all the way back onto itself eventually. Just like this. Now, with this complete, we now want to add a row of polished blackstone stairs along the outside of this. So these stairs are going to kind of like sit around and connect to these slabs, move across, and then just kind of continue them going on the opposite side. But other than the ever so slight little break on the front of the build, these stairs do go all the way around and will eventually connect back to the beginning once again. Just like this. So the next part of this is rather simple, but it can get a little bit tricky in practice. Grab your polished blackstone and make your way up to this upper left-hand window on the front of the build. Place a polished blackstone extending outwards from the corner of this window, and extend the blackstone backwards by 2 rows, and then across so that it sits behind this window. We are going to extend a row of blackstone that moves all the way through, just like this. So just to give you an idea, the blackstone gives the windows a little bit of clearance. And we want to extend the blackstone through the tower portion at the front of the build, and it wants to sit in a similar position on the opposite side, and it will move all the way through these windows, and it wants to extend all the way across until it eventually sits on top of this stone right here, and then the blackstone is going to extend all the way back like this, and it is going to sit 1 row away from the polished blackstone on the outer side, so just inside of the stone, and then we're going to extend the polished blackstone all the way across, and we are going to follow the shape of the stone just like this. So the blackstone will extend all the way across, it'll follow the shape of the stone, as weird as the shape may be, and it will join all the way to the opposite window here. So I'm thinking that on this side in particular we will have it so that the blackstone does overhang the window a little bit, and I think that we will have it so that the blackstone sits on top of the stone. So maybe just on this side in particular we'll have it so that the blackstone sits on top of the stone, but on the entire back the stone is exposed. Okay, that's a bit of a weird path for the blackstone, but here's where it does get ever so slightly easier. We want to add another row of polished blackstone directly on top of the blackstone that we have just placed. On this left side, only place it on the outer blackstone blocks. Now that we've placed 2 of these rows, we now want to place another layer of blackstone above and inside the previous layer of blackstone. This is going to follow the exact same path as the previous layer, except it is 1 row inwards, and of course 1 row above. With another layer added, we can now add another layer directly on top of this. You guys are never gonna guess what we're gonna do next. I want you to add an additional layer of blackstone that is 1 row higher than the previous row of blackstone and sits inside of the previous layer of blackstone as well. 1 row higher, 1 row in, all the way around. With 1 row added, we are now able to add an additional row on top of it, and I promise this is the final time. Next up, we are going to fill the entire top of the roof in using polished blackstone and add iron bars going all the way around. With the roof complete, we are now able to add a little bit more detail to some of the higher up windows. Once again, let's start where we started. So, on the side of this window, we want to place polished blackstone stairs. These stairs sit along the sides of the top of the stone blocks that we have. They want to overhang 1 row, and then we want to simply place stairs in such a manner that we, of course, form a roof, and we just want to eventually reach a natural connection up at the top, so we just keep extending stairs in a row, up a row, you guys know how roofs work, and then place upside down stairs underneath the overhanging part. And we want to do this to the next roof as well, so once again using blackstone stairs, this is starting on the side of the stone for the frame, at the top on the left and right, just like this. They will eventually hit a point where the blackstone stairs join together at the top, and then we want to have upside down stairs underneath, just like so. Then moving along down, this is the last little roof that we have to do. We're going to use polished blackstone slabs for this on the sides of the stone of this kind of wide window. We simply want to add polished blackstone slabs extending inwards and upwards from that side, just like this, until they join together on both sides, and then we can extend these slabs back, just like so, and we will eventually end up with 3 nice completed windows. I would also recommend going around your build, around the top of the roof section, and replacing any stone that isn't affiliated with the windows. Replace the stone using polished blackstone. You'll be able to find a lot of this primarily on the front and the straight of the back. Now, with that complete, ladies and gentlemen, that leaves but one thing left to do. So this is really simple. For the front garden, I recommend adding a 2-row wide path made out of gravel that leads literally just all the way around the front and conforms to the shape of the house. Then, once you've done that, I would recommend extending a further path a couple of rows in front of where the main entrance is, so it's just going to be 3 rows wide. Left and right of this, I would have a couple of rows of dirt path, and on the ends of the rows of dirt path, I would recommend extending them in towards gravel, making them kind of like weird shapes. Then remove the grass between the gravel and the dirt path, replace it with lime terracotta so that it stands out a little bit, it just looks nice. And last but not least, you can make some pretty cool trees. I want one on the left and one on the right side. So these are made using spruce fence gate, and brown candles. These can be made up in such a way that we have kind of like dead, or at the very least dying trees that just look a little bit more interesting than just regular wood look. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.